Welcome back to the vendor table.
Hello.
How are you?
I didn't have a great week. And you know this, and that's why you asked me that question. Very
I'm asking
somber.
this question. We're going to start the episode a little somber, but go ahead.
My dog passed away very suddenly last week, and it was very difficult. I'm not gonna cry.
It's okay if you do.
I had her for 10 years, and she was my absolute best friend in the entire universe. But the only reason I'm really talking about this is because I went through all my pictures of her on my phone, obviously in hysterics crying. But one of the ones that I found was from our engagement shoot. And Heather, who was our photographer, came to our house and incorporated the dogs. And it was a picture of me and Pat looking down at Lola right in between us. And it was just one of the sweetest things I have to remember her by. So I just wanted to extend a thank you to Heather for taking that photo, or even thinking to take that photo, because the focus was on her, not us, but we were there looking at her. And it's one of the most special things that I have to remember her by. So that's all I wanted to say. And if you have dogs and you want to incorporate them in your photos, then just do it.
It's worth it in the long run. It is, especially on engagement shoots or family sessions. Dogs are amazing. They make an impact on our lives. I don't know what I'm going to do when my dog goes.
We don't deserve them. They're so much better than people.
They really are. They really are.
But we're gonna lighten the tone now.
Oh my God! All right.
Promise.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't cry. I almost did, but we're good.
A little emotional. Well, we are officially in 2024. Which is crazy.
At the time of this recording, we are not, but
yeah. We're going to say Happy New Year.
We're in the time machine, so Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2024.
So with 2024 kicking off and everything like that, we obviously are in booking season now. This is what we call engagement season. Everyone's getting engaged.
Cuffing season.
Yeah, and we have so much going on. You would think it's slow season. It's not really ever slow for photographers. People will say, "Oh, it's slow," but it's slow for shooting.
Right.
It's not slow show. It's not slow for the big show, I should say, which is booking season. So this is when everyone's getting engaged. This is when everyone's looking at their venues, and this is, if you're a vendor, this is when you're starting to meet with your clients for the following year. A lot of people are now going to start booking 2025 venues, or even some might even still be, looking to get that wedding in.
I'm still getting inquiries for this year.
Same.
This 2024 season.
Same. Are you closed yet?
No, I'm not. I still have availability for maybe 5 more.
Nice.
And then I'm closing it out. I got an inquiry from you, actually.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Look at that.
I have a meeting with them tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And her name is Lauren.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Those are my people, obviously. We're few and far between these days. They don't make us anymore.
Yeah, so wow.
It's true.
I don't even know what to say.
Have you met a baby named Lauren recently?
No. It's a lot of
We're a dying breed.
a lot of random names. A lot of millennials name their kids some weird shit.
A lot of Y's in weird places.
There's a kid in my the kid was in my son's daycare class last year. The Yardley. That was the most interesting name I've ever heard.
I've seen some really awesome boys' names though, like Axel.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever
Come here,
happened
baby
to
Axel.
Whatever happened to Michael or Joe or Steve or
Steve.
Sorry, Steve, for the last one, or Matt. Right? I
just think it's so funny. When a baby is born, it's this cute little baby, and it's this is Steve. Comes out wearing a collared shirt and glasses.
You're gonna have to send this to Meredith's husband.
I know.
But no, we've so we're officially in 2024. This is the 2024 booking season. So to all those wedding vendors, good luck, have fun.
Good luck out
enjoy.
there.
Yep. And what have we been saying? Raise your prices. Hopefully,
Raise your prices.
Hopefully you raise your prices a little bit this year. You know, always account for your worth. You know, this is a time where if
the
you
economy.
do account for the economy, but also like this is a good time to, you know, chat with your peers. Like if you have friends like that are kind of in the same ballpark of price wise, like, you know, this is where you kind of could come together and start chatting with them about like raising your prices just a little bit. Like, you know, everyone should be kind of coming up together. That way no one's undercutting the market or, you know, pricing themselves out of the market. It's always nice to kind of see in like your area, and like if you do have a friends network in the area, in your area, that whether it's photographers, florists, you name it, kind of thing. If you're all in the same ballpark, you're producing the same amount of work, like you should be kind of priced almost similarly depending on what you offer. So, you know, if you're all offering 10 hours a day, 2 shooters, and you shoot very similar anything, if you're all within that same ballpark, you know, not one's going to undercut the market and like steal people away or like, you know, undervalue themselves. That's the worst thing, is to see like a photographer especially undervalue themselves. And like, to be honest with you, you could piss off the market too. Like you
piss off the market, and you're also attracting clients that I guarantee you're not going to want.
Yeah.
So
if you're worth it, put a price tag on it.
Agreed.
There you go.
Ding ding.
Well, so yesterday, at the time of recording, we put out a listener like questions thing on Instagram.
Yeah, we basically didn't know what to talk about, so here we go.
I'm just going to be honest. Let's just be completely honest here.
We are all the time, so why not?
Like brutally honest. So we had 40 questions. We said it could be anything, wedding related, business related, like, you know, tips, tricks, whatever. So we had 40 questions, which I think is insane.
But we had more than 40. That's just as much as I wrote down, because they just kept coming in. So we probably got more, but we can't even talk about all of 40. So
yeah, we'll try to do as many as we can today, and then, you know, if we have to do a part 2, we'll do a part 2. But I love that you guys wrote in. Thank you so much. And
amazing.
You know, it's just awesome. So we're gonna go through it. Why don't we kick it off? Why don't you kick it off?
I think because we're right at the start of like, we just, at the time of you guys listening to this, we'll have passed New Year's. So this is a good one. New Year's Eve weddings, yay or nay?
Have you ever done one?
Nope, and I won't ever.
I've done one. It was for my friend from my old job, her son's wedding. It was in Washington, D.C., at an art gallery. One of the coolest weddings I've ever photographed. A lot of fun. I brought Sarah. She assisted me. She was like my lighting assistant that day, solo shooter.
That's cool that you got to spend it with her.
It was really nice. It was at the Kimpton Monaco. That's where they like did all their photos and everything like that, which is a beautiful hotel. It was freezing cold. We couldn't do any photos outside. We did everything indoor. A lot of fun. New Year's Eve celebration, ball drop, all that stuff, like confetti from the ceiling. A lot of fun. Would I do one again? No. No. It's a lot of stress. Not to say it's a lot of stress. It's just a lot goes into the day. You know, and like getting that moment is obviously another added thing that you have to account for. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun, but now that I'm a lot more experienced and I'm a lot more established, I just don't do weddings on holidays anymore.
Yeah. You know, Mike and I have families now. We have kids, and I'm telling, like, on a holiday,
asleep by 10 o'clock.
I don't
on New
make
Year's.
it.
I don't fucking make it.
I don't remember the last
me?
time I made it to watch the ball drop.
I think like Sarah and I have set alarms to wake up at midnight, and it's like, why? Like, no, we're old as shit. I don't know.
That's a no from me, dog.
I've done one. I think if you're thinking about doing one, do one. If you're thinking you get married on New Year's Eve, it's awesome. Amazing.
The pictures I've seen with like the confetti and all that stuff, they're gorgeous. They're awesome. They're fun. For people who like enjoy just constantly like shooting weddings all the time, do it.
They're beautiful. Like if you're getting married on New Year's Eve, I think it's a beautiful holiday. I think it's awesome. I think, you know, it's a great celebration. You have all your favorite people in a room celebrating New Year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think it's incredible. Will I do one like again? it'd have to be for somebody really close. Like,
Yeah.
it would have to be for somebody I know, maybe another vendor or a friend or something like that. But to be honest with you, I'm completely done with holiday weddings.
What are your thoughts? Because I know this is like a hot button topic sometimes with people. What are your thoughts on holiday weddings themselves? Like a wedding on Father's Day, or wedding on Memorial Day, wedding on 4th of July, stuff like that.
I'm never going to do a wedding on the 4th of July. Ever. It's my favorite holiday. I'm sitting in the pool.
Mikey America.
Like Mikey Sunsets is out. If you ever follow me on Instagram, 4th of July is my favorite holiday.
We'll post a pic.
I go fucking hard on the 4th. It's my favorite fucking holiday. I will never do a wedding on the 4th. I've done ones on Father's Day. I don't think I'll do one on Father's Day again.
I did one on Father's Day this year.
Yeah, I won't do them on the smaller holiday, especially now that I'm a dad, and like I'll never do one on Mother's Day ever. I won't ever do one. Yeah, I won't ever do one on a significant other's birthday or my kids' birthdays, anything like that. Like, so holidays are pretty much out for me.
Yeah, they're off the table for us.
But I will do I like Labor Day weekend or something like that. Like, I'll do a Monday wedding, like on Labor Day or something like that. Like, there's certain ones that I will do, but the far majority, like, yeah, I'm not gonna do. Don't ask me to do a 4th of July wedding. Sorry, people. I'm in my pool. Oh God, I'm America'd out.
All right, you pick the next one.
Oh God. Okay.
There's so many.
There are so many. Okay. Wow.
I know. How do you choose?
Okay. Here's one. As a soon-to-be venue owner, how do we build relationships with vendors? Well, congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
It's amazing.
That's a big endeavor.
That's amazing. I hope it goes really well. I hope the venue opens up. And send us a link when it opens. I'd love to check it out. Amazing. So I would say those first few weddings that you have booked in there, get to know those vendors. Like, when they come in, introduce yourself, like, say I'm the venue owner, things like that. Like, see their work, tell them to share it with you. Start building those relationships. Like, if you have an Instagram page, you're going to want to use, especially the photographer's work, like, credit them, be nice about it, stuff like that. Like I'm not saying offer incentive or anything like that, but all you have to do is really just talk to them. Like, as a photographer, if a venue asks me for photos, I'm going to send the photos right away. I think it's great marketing for a photographer. It's great marketing for any vendor. So I would say 100% just talk to them. First thing, like, be on site for those first few weddings. Like, if you're the owner.
Totally. Yeah, be there.
I shot a wedding at Wyndham Manor, like 2 weddings actually this year at Wyndham Manor. It's a beautiful venue, upstate New York. It's relatively new. It's only like 2.5 years old. But each time I was there, the venue owners like came up and like the first time they introduced themselves to me, they gave me a venue tour. Like, they showed me around, talked to me about like Instagram, all that stuff. And I sent them galleries. They featured my work all over the place. I found out that like they made me like a preferred vendor, which
awesome.
I didn't ask for. I don't have to pay for it, which is great. One of the few places that like don't charge you. And they share my work all the time. Like, super nice, super sweet. And I found out that they are booked out for 2024.
Amazing.
So they went from like, I think they were doing like 15 weddings the first year, then 30 the second year, and now they're fully booked. And it's like awesome. They establish a lot of relationships with vendors just by talking to them. I think that's
like
it.
That's probably the best thing that they can do, is just like communicate really well and be nice.
That's it. That's it. Reach out. Like, Instagram is a great thing. Like, if you like, if you have a couple, like if that couple inquires, maybe get a sheet from them, like of who their vendors are. Maybe you make a template or something like that. Like, so obviously you're going to need their insurance anyway. So you're going to have that information, but maybe you get like a catalog of like all those people that you could reach out. You get their Instagram handles. It makes things easier for you. So great question. Absolutely.
Yeah,
great
I love
question.
that.
Go ahead. You got the next one.
Let's see. Why do wedding vendors just expect free galleries from photographers?
Oh, shit.
Oof.
Wow. Ooh, spicy.
It is spicy. I think the expectation is what's irritating. Like, maybe. I think like sending a full gallery to a vendor is a little too personal. It's one thing to like show a client that you're meeting with a full gallery so that they can see what to expect, but to send another vendor a full gallery of this person's like family, friends, you know, stuff like that, maybe a bit too much. What we do, or at least what I do, is I'll put together like small galleries or even like a zip file of just that specific vendor's work that's featured, and then kind of send that to the vendor specifically. But if the vendor was an a-hole to me on the day of, you're not getting shit, just so you know. You know, like you're not getting shit from me if you were an asshole.
Damn.
Right? Am I right?
Boom. Yes. 100%. You are correct. I'm kind of opposite though, because maybe I'm just lazy, but like if
you just send the whole gallery.
Yeah, I'm just like, here's a link. If you post anything, just like, usually I just send the highlights because it's like the best shots. Like it's usually 200 to 300 photos kind of thing. It's like the teasers or whatever, or like if I think I
find like my clients will send the pictures before I.
Yeah, they usually do. So
I don't even really have to. Most
I have
of the
a
time.
lot of, you know what it is? It's like a lot of groups own places here, like Lessings and stuff like that. So a lot of the venues like are tied to one person that runs those accounts. So they'll like reach out. Oh, I saw you were at like the barn. I saw you were at the vineyards. I saw you were here. And they'll like reach out, and like I'll just send like a whole thing of like the galleries and everything. Like it's like, just credit me. I always say this to any photographer out there: if you are going to send it to another vendor, and vendors, please take this into into an account. Okay. I'm so tired. I got no sleep last night. I really am. But no, really, like vendors, please do this. If a photographer sends you a gallery, please tag them in the caption.
Yeah, don't just take their photos and post them and not credit the photographer.
Yeah.
Or the other vendor, you know?
Honestly, don't just tag them on the photo. Tag them in the caption. Photo by @ person, okay? Because that's how we market. That's our marketing. That's how they see our work.
Everything.
And to be honest with you, put it out there for your clients, your future clients, so they know who the photographer is. It's not to say like, oh, it's like I just see so many vendors that they don't tag, and they don't tag the photographer properly, stuff like that, or they don't tag the photographer at all. And as a photographer, I don't mind if you use my photos. I don't. Just tag me, credit me.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with wedding vendors asking for photos, like at all, if they were chill.
Yeah.
You know, if they were chill on the day of, why not? It's free marketing for you.
I send to everybody. I don't care. But I won't send it to you.
But
if you're a dickhead.
If they were like harassing you about getting photos, then I'd be like, you know, kick rocks, get out.
Yeah. Do you take photos of like vendors? Like I've had a few vendors, like florists, for example. They're there on site. They're setting up. And I've had one actually ask, can you take a photo of me doing this, like setting up? I'm like, I don't mind. It was just the way it was asked.
Oh.
It was like, I was like, you didn't even talk to me, and then you came up to me and you were like, hey, can you take a photo of me? I'd love this for like my website.
That's not actually ever happened to me, I don't think.
It happened to me one.
Rude.
It's kind of really messed up. I'm not there to be your behind the scenes content creator. Sorry. Not to be a dickhead or anything like that. I did say, like, yeah, I'll take it. Like, no problem. Like, you know, I'll be nice about it. But if you want that, establish a relationship with the vendor first.
Maybe chat a bit first.
Yeah, be like, hey, like, how you doing? Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a few florists, for example, that I do that for. If I see them on site, I'm like, hey, you want a little BTS photo? Planners especially. I'll take a photo of a planner, like arranging, like, you know, like a little spread or something like that, like every wedding, because they appreciate that. Like Maeve, for example, like I always get a shot of her like walking with the bride, like she's holding the bride's dress, you know, she uses it all the time. So things like that, you know, as a photographer, look for those content opportunities for other vendors, because they'll appreciate that. But if you're another vendor, try to, you know, maybe talk to the photographer and say like, hey, nice to meet you.
Be cool, baby, be cool.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one? Ooh, it's my turn. We had a lot of planners write in and be like, how do we work better with photographers? How do we work better with photographers? So we're gonna take that one.
Okay.
So
There was a few of those, actually. I just put it on there once.
yeah. So one of them was like hot takes, unpopular opinions on wedding planners. One, I don't have too many hot takes or unpopular opinions on wedding planners or coordinators. I think they're amazing at what they do. I think they're incredible. And I think if you're in need of organization on a wedding day, I think you should really hire a coordinator or a planner.
Yeah.
100%. How they could work with a photographer better, simple as this. Be organized. Be organized. Help with organization. Every little facet of the day, if it's organized, it goes smoother, it goes better, and guess what? We'll always be on time. If you're organized as a planner, the whole day will be organized to a flow so that the photographer could follow that flow or work with you to keep it on, on schedule.
I think the only hot takes, I see a lot of people with like hate for planners. Like a lot of photographers. And I think that maybe just comes from working with a planner that maybe is a little bit of a tyrant or a dictator. But that one experience won't ruin planners for me.
Yeah. I've worked with
planners. I, for the most part, love them.
Yeah. I've worked with planners that are a little bit pushy, like in terms of like they're on top of you with the schedule almost a little too much. And you guys know I've talked about it, but I'm very organized with my schedule. I'm like usually genuinely 99% on time, if not ahead of schedule.
If Mike and I say 5 more minutes, we literally mean 5 more minutes.
Yeah, it's not 20 minutes. It's 5 more minutes.
It's not photographer math where it turns into 20 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It.
So I've had planners that they kind of hover and they're like, we gotta move. And like I've had the brides say something to the planner before me. It's like, we're doing fine. We're almost done. Like, can you just like leave us alone? And no joke, I've had brides say that to planners. So I think as a planner, the one thing you could do is like, if you're really behind, if the day is really behind schedule, obviously assert yourself into that day and make sure, like you move things along. But if you're on time or like, like you're really on time or maybe 5 minutes behind, give a little slack.
A little, like
just a little slack.
A little bit.
You don't need to be a tyrant. But
that's very few and far between, I feel like, for me. Like I have not worked with a bad planner in a very long time.
I mean, I've probably worked with 150 planners and I think I've had that experience 3 times.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And it's usually like very high end luxury planners. And I get it because obviously the clients you serve have a certain expectation. So I get it. But at the same point, if we're moving the day along and it's on schedule, don't try to move it quicker. It doesn't help us by any means. In fact, I just think it rattles us a little bit. So, yeah. All right. You got the next one.
Should photographers include a free engagement shoot with their wedding packages?
I always do.
I wouldn't say it's free. I would say it's complimentary.
Yeah, it's included. Just price it into your package.
Yeah, factor the cost of the engagement shoot into your package pricing. And yes, I do believe that everyone should do an engagement shoot.
It adds value to your package too. So
not only does it add value, but you get to like acquaint yourself with the client's like intimacy with each other, their affection, like how they interact with each other way ahead of time.
It gets them comfortable in front of your camera, gets them to understand your personality, how you do things. So on the wedding day, they're fully comfortable.
Yeah.
It's great.
There is no downside.
Absolutely no downside. And it's practice for you.
Yeah.
Do it.
That seems like a pretty easy answer for us.
Just include it. Include it, but price it into your package. Don't include it for free. Price it into your package.
Correct.
Put value behind it. All right.
Next.
Okay. What happened?
I have an add-on question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if they don't want the engagement, but you have it included in your package?
Uh-huh.
Do you drop down since it's complimentary?
No.
Okay, so
what Matt said.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys I don't know if we could hear that, but so what Matt said, if you have an engagement session included in your package, but the couple either already did one or doesn't want it, what do you do? Do you reduce the cost of the package? Do you just exclude it? Whatever. Like, what do you do? What do you do? I'll tell you what I do.
If they choose not to do an engagement shoot, I'll either offer them, if I'm available, rehearsal dinner coverage the day before, or I'll add an additional hour to their wedding day coverage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's what, I mean, for me, it's easy, to add an additional hour. Sometimes they won't need it. And then I just, I'll tell them, like, timeline wise, you really don't need the extra hour. There's not really any point to it. But, these are options that are available to you should you opt out.
Okay.
But I usually strongly encourage doing it. Even if they already did one.
Yeah.
Then they get to acquaint themselves with me.
Yeah.
And my style. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well,
Nothing.
Go fuck yourself. What I do is if they choose not to use their engagement session time, I give them up to a year after their wedding date to redeem it for an anniversary session.
That's fun. I like that idea too. I'm going to do that.
I don't reduce the cost of the package or anything like that. I don't take it out. I just give them that option. I'll be honest with you, most people don't redeem it.
They forget.
Or they forget kind of thing. If they forget and then they inquire like 2 years later, I'll give them like, a percentage off or something like that. I'll be nice about it. But yeah, I do that just because I know I'm not going to have time to do rehearsal dinner coverage. I know I don't want to add an extra hour of coverage to the wedding day. I've had couples actually ask me to do that, and I've done that, but it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, so they do have to account for that.
Very rarely does anyone cash in on that.
I used to do that, and I didn't like doing that because it's not a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Like wedding coverage and engagement session are totally different things. So I just started offering anniversary sessions, and I've had a few couples redeem it because of the fact that they got pregnant right away. They did a maternity session, so it was great. Like if you booked me before, so that's one way they handle it.
Yeah, but
Good question, Matt.
Good question, Matt.
Go
Whose
ahead.
turn is it? Mine?
Yeah.
Oh. Photographer's opinion on a DJ having zap shooters.
Ooh.
Now,
Shit.
if you
we
don't
haven't
know,
had this question.
I know. So
We haven't had this one.
If you don't know what a zap shooter is, it's basically an additional photographer provided by the DJ or entertainment company to take photos during the reception. Sometimes they have TV screens or whatever, and they'll put the memory cards in and have pictures on the screens while the reception is going on. I don't know if it's the same with you. I don't mind a zap shooter. I don't mind as long as they don't get in my way.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm the same way.
I love a zap shooter who will come up and introduce themselves to me, say, hey, I'm here to do this.
Yeah.
They're doing a job that the client has also hired them to do, which I respect and, I'm cool with, as long as they don't get in my way.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm the same way. I don't mind them. I used to, a couple of years ago, I was I got annoyed by one, and I put it in my contract that, no zap shooters allowed kind of thing. And then I had clients that were like, oh, the DJ offered us a zap shooter. Is it okay? I know it says no zap shooters in your contract. And it just became so complicated that I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So if I know they have a zap shooter, usually I'll go up to the DJ and say hey, if is your zap shooter here? I'll talk to them if they don't introduce themselves to me. Most do. So it's honestly, it's not a big deal. Like you said, as long as they're not getting in the way and as long as they're not cross line from me all night.
Yeah.
So what I mean by cross line is if I'm photographing the couple, they're not behind the couple. So they're not in my shot, for first dances, parent dances, stuff like that. Stay next to me if you're a zap shooter. I was going to say,
zap shooter, stand right next to me. Do whatever you want right next to me.
You could be up. You could be right.
I don't care.
Right up there. Just,
Mm-hmm.
But.
And most of the time I'm really tiny and they're really tall, so they can be shooting literally on top of me.
Over you.
That's fine.
I don't mind them, but if you ever run into a situation with a zap shooter, I would talk to the DJ company and say listen, I know they're here to do a job, but we got to work better together.
Yeah.
With any vendor, you're going to say that.
I think it can also get tough if you have a huge team.
Yeah.
I remember when I was working for the studio, there were sometimes 4 of us and 2 video, 2 photo, and then maybe a drone operator. So there's 5 of us. And then you add 1 more person into the mix. Obviously the drone person is not there during the reception, but there's 5 of you now on a dance floor, and depending on how big that reception area is, it can be really congested.
Yeah.
So can it be annoying? sometimes.
Do you need a Zap shooter on your wedding day? No, sorry.
No.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't need one. You don't need those big TV screens.
Yo,
either.
if you want a Zap shooter, I'll go home. Like, they're doing my job for me. Sometimes I'll just sit down for a little bit and let them go.
I'll be honest with you. Is like, you don't need them. You're gonna get a shit ton of reception photos, like party photos.
So I swear to God, my galleries.
You're not gonna want the. I'm not gonna say they're shitty. Zap shots are shitty.
Aw.
They're shitty. They take them on like a Canon Rebel with like the
let's say,
pop-up
for
flash.
example, like they're not necessarily photographers.
No,
They're just
not.
people who.
You're not gonna like the photos, and if you got the screens going and stuff like that, they suck. I can see why photographers don't want them there because I know one photographer that she doesn't allow Zap shooters like at weddings, like when she's working, and. I don't remember why, but I think one of the reasons was like people kept coming up to her and saying like, oh, like that shot, like what is that shot of me on the screen and stuff like that, and she's like, I didn't take that photo. It's the Zap shooters photos. So like, yeah, it's one of the things to account for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I feel like we spent too much time on this topic.
We really did. Okay, let's move on.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
It is my turn. Okay. How to separate work and personal when you work from home? Ooh, I like that. I work from home. She works from home.
Yep.
Great question.
I kind of listen. Once again, you've got Mess Lauren over here who just doesn't do a great job of it. So if you're dealing in chaos, so am I, sis. I'm right there with you. I put a lock on my door.
Just sage advice. Sage
Put
advice.
a lock on my door. Lock the kid out.
Here's screaming. It's all right.
Shh. Put the AirPods in.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, I mean, it's tough sometimes because when you're working from home, you feel like it almost never ends. But I think we've talked about this a few times where, set business hours for yourself. And when the clock hits this time, be done. Leave it. Deal with it tomorrow during business hours.
Create a schedule.
Mike makes a schedule.
Create a schedule for yourself.
I know that for me, when I talked to you about how to do this like a while back, setting a schedule for myself and turning it off at that time really did help me. So it's kind of, you just have to like be your own boss and actually listen to yourself.
Yeah. Now, if you're working from home and other people are home as well, my wife's a school teacher. I have 2 young kids. In the summertime, my house is chaos. Absolute chaos. My office is upstairs where the bedrooms are, everything like that. I hopefully one day will turn my detached garage into an office, so I'm separate space, things like that. But if you're having trouble like separating because like there's either people in the home or things like that, what Lauren said is kind of accurate. Lock yourself in a room. Lock yourself in a room. I don't care if it's a closet. Like, lock yourself in the room for a little bit, put headphones on, and that's your time to work. So give yourself the schedule or go to a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Go somewhere.
If you need to leave, you need to go.
But do it during those hours that you set. Set a schedule. Scheduling is the most important thing I think you could do as a small business owner that works from home. Is just giving yourself the time to work during those hours and then turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off when those, whether you end at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever, when the clock strikes, try not to do anything else.
If someone's messaging you or emailing you or texting you, you do not have to answer after business hours.
No, answer the next day. That's it.
That's it. And most people will understand. And if they don't, ugh.
You're a business, huh? Like when they go home from their jobs, they're not looking at their work email. So you shouldn't have to either.
Boom.
All right.
My turn?
Yeah.
Do you find some photographers annoying?
God. Who the hell asked that question?
Jinkies.
Damn. In what way? Like that's
a
what,
very
on social
broad,
media.
A very broad question.
In what way? Like
let's rephrase to: is there anything that other photographers do that you find annoying?
Of course there is. Is there anything that people do that I find annoying? Yes. Of course there is. It's just difference of personality.
I think for me, the only thing I really find irritating or annoying about other photographers is when people charge people money and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Sure. fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't. There's photographers out there that I'll follow on social media that I'm like, oh my God, they're so fucking lame and stuff like that. Like, they're so lame. Okay, but you could say that about people find me lame. I know you do.
I mean, some of you have told us how irritating you find us to be.
So I get it.
We're aware.
You don't have to follow that person.
We take it in good stride, but damn,
now
y'all be brutal.
Seriously. Now, if you're a photographer and you want to and you're working with another photographer for a project, or they're second shooting for you and stuff like that, or you're second shooting for them, you might not click with them, and just you don't have to work with them.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, how many second shooters I worked with one time and we're like, we're not a good.
Didn't work out.
Not a good gel. Not a good match. So
can we talk about the review we saw last night about that episode where I said I was toxic?
You are toxic.
I said I was toxic because I was so invested in this crop debate that we had, which everybody knows about. We called a truce. It's fine. We're cool. Don't.
I'm not commenting.
Don't.
I'm not going to comment.
And somebody said that they couldn't listen to the podcast anymore. I'm looking at you, music girl. Because I said I was toxic.
Oh, my God.
My goodness. I didn't realize it was so intense.
It was very intense.
My good.
All right, maybe we got time for like 2 more. So.
There's so many.
There is so many. Maybe we might have to 2-part this.
We should 2-part it. It's good.
Yeah, it is good. All right, something from a couple. Dancing on the Clouds. Is it worth it or overrated? You know what that is?
Yes.
So what Dancing in the Clouds is like they'll do like with that dry ice machine, and it shoots like a blanket of clouds on the dance floor, usually for a first dance. It does look cool. I've done some really kick-ass
really
ones.
Cool ones.
If it's like a ton of extra money, is it worth it? Nah, not really. But if it's like, drop a hat kind of thing.
If it's in the budget.
Yeah. Is it worth it? I could show you some really cool photos of Dancing on the Cloud, and I could show you some shitty ones too.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on how it layers.
Yeah. Also, like, if the venue has like the ventilation, it depends on the ventilation. Like, they'll have to turn it off, or it'll just.
Yeah. It honestly, like, I've seen like the fans kick it up and stuff like that, and I've seen it actually rise a little too high, where it honestly, it looked like the couple was in fog, or it went up to their waist. So I would say it looks really good on, when it looks really good? In a room with a very high ceiling.
Yes.
That's when it looks really good. If you have a room with a really high ceiling and you have like the Dancing on the Cloud kind of thing, it looks really cool. If the ceiling's a little low in the reception room, I'd probably save the money.
Yeah, I actually don't mind it. It doesn't bother me either way. I think it's cool. Like, some of the photos I've done with the Dancing on the Clouds stuff looks pretty cool. But don't mistake Dancing on the Clouds for a fog machine, people. Please. It is not the same.
No.
It is not the same. A fog machine will ruin all of your photos.
Yeah, don't do that.
Every single one. Do not do it. That is all.
All right. We're going to do one more.
Oh, it's my turn.
End it with a good one.
Huh?
End it with a good one.
Oh my god!
I have one. If you can't find one.
Actually, this one is very relevant to us lately. Do we actually like the mirrorless cameras? It's love-hate for me. Mike and I have been having a discussion recently about how we hate the colors on our cameras.
Yo. I'm going to be honest here. When I first got the R6, I was like, this thing is magic. It's delicious. Everything about it. Crispy,
amazing.
Sharp. Oh my God, I can nail focus. 98% of my photos are in focus. Like, I could eye track, all that shit. Great. Awesome. The colors suck ass.
They suck ass.
They suck so much ass.
I have to work so much harder on my colors when I'm editing.
So much harder. And like, I don't know, man. I'm tempted to do a side-by-side with my 5D4. Pull that baby back out. See how it does with portraits. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just the way the colors are handling on the Canons right now, if that's how the mirrorless are doing things. We also use third-party lenses. You and I, we used like.
No longer.
Oh, you got Canon lenses.
I got new lenses.
I'm still a Sigma fanboy. I love my Sigma 50. Like that's my baby. But I might switch. I might switch. So I want to see how the colors handle on.
Of course, I just got them at the end of my season, and I have nothing to test them out on. So
yeah, that's why I don't buy lenses at the end of the season, because I just want to shoot with them.
I took a picture of a pine cone on my counter. It was really beautiful.
I will say, I'm just not a big fan of them right now. I don't know. Now, lately, I've changed my editing a little bit, and I do like them a little bit more. But it is a lot harder to edit the mirrorless files. The CR3s are different than the CR2s, and I don't. Wait, was the 5D4 CR3s? That might have been.
They were CR3s.
They were CR3s. But like the mirrorless files, let's just say the mirrorless files are a lot different than the mirrored files. I
agree.
The DSLR files.
I love everything about the R6, like the mirrorless, but the colors.
Yeah.
And like there's something about the depth to them too. Like they're not as soft.
Yeah, they have I don't know, the 5D4, I just felt like people popped off.
Yeah.
They like really popped off the frame. I don't know, like
something's different, and I don't like it.
Yeah, not.
And I've had mine for 2 years now.
Yeah, it's the same.
2 years.
Year? Yeah, 2021. I got mine.
2 years. So I don't know. Something's missing. Something's missing.
Woe is me.
Canon, I'm talking to you.
Right.
Something's missing. Fix it.
We're gonna wrap this one. We went a little long. We have so many more.
Lots more. Maybe we should turn this into a two-parter.
Maybe we turn it into.
It might have to be 3.
I think it'll be a two-parter. Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Welcome to 2024.
Happy New Year.
I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for joining us on this incredible. I'm gonna say Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know when we're gonna release this.
I don't know what day it is right now.
Yeah,
is this
me
the
either.
This is December 21st, but we're talking to you in the new year.
Yeah, in the future. Lauren.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at my website, laurenobrienphoto.com, as well as on Instagram, Lauren O'Brien Photo and the Feral Photog. TikTok is irrelevant for me because I hate it. You guys are so mean. And Mike, where can they find you?
At Michael Casara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. And you could find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. And
our Facebook group.
Guys, it's been fun. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye.